Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to APPNA Chat with Naseem and Nasim. Hello Naseem, how are you doing today?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you doing?
Wa alaikum salam, all good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for the very first edition of APPNA Chat. So before we go into what we're actually going to be doing in APPNA Chat, let's have a little chat about who you and I are. So please go ahead and let our viewers hear all about you, Naseem, and your background, anything that you'd like to share about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Naseem, as Naseem has pointed out. Let's just make it clear that there's both Naseems here, but the difference is that Naseem spells it with a double E and I'm the I. I'm with the letter I. Alhamdulillah. So my kind of interest, generally, if I was to be described, what are my interests? I'm very much a community activist. That's where my forte is, and that can be in terms of climate. It could be in terms of how to improve the lives of the BME communities or Muslim women, sharing information on events that are ongoing throughout Edinburgh and beyond. So I like to kind of keep my finger on the pulse and share information that is inshallah going to benefit the community that I live in or beyond that as well.
Okay, that sounds really good. So with myself, I am founder and director at Personal Match, and I've been helping people get married since 2001. So I started as a volunteer between 2001, 2011, and then 2011 till now. Again, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we've helped over 4,000 people get married, and we have a team of a good 10 or so staff now, I think, that work with me. And Naseem is one of my team members that works with me as well. So we are a double duo out there helping people try and find a companion. And it's really rewarding work. It's really humbling work. And I feel, just like Naseem is saying, it's a service to the community. So especially when I went into it on a more serious level, yes, I was a volunteer. But then when I learned and I educated myself, I really do feel that we are a service to the community in terms of helping sons and daughters find the right match, find somebody that they can be happy with, and somebody that's already been pre-screened who's actually genuinely looking. We just got an announcement just today. Mashallah, one of our clients is getting engaged this weekend, and the wedding is December. So a really nice news to kick off our program, inshallah, Naseem. So in terms of this podcast, Naseem, what do you want to gain from it? What do you think that the viewers out there, the listeners out there that are listening to our podcast? So we'll be putting out a podcast out every Monday. So every Monday, we're going to be asking for you to put in your comments underneath the post, the kind of topics that you'd like us to discuss, but your own aims and objective for our podcast, Naseem, what are they? What do you want to achieve out of this?
I think one of the important things is to share with the communities, and that could be any community, what's happening out there. Something that, whether it's a social event, whether it's a political event, or whether, any kind of event. I think that's what's really important. And I think it's, in terms of moving forward, I think our viewers can shape how they want this podcast to work out, because we're doing this for the community, inshallah. So got a couple of ideas. We want to talk about topics. For example, marriage is obviously a typical one, and another one is the typical one, log kya kahenge. That's a big topic. Probably need a few sessions on that one, and talking about relationships in general, respect of parents. So it's a whole host of issues that we really want to kind of talk about, and I want it to be very kind of light-hearted, but always with a very positive message, because I think that's very, very important.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, no, I like that very much. And I think just discussing kind of the problems of today, the problems society are having today, and obviously the kind of things that we've used, especially in my work environment, to help that person combat their issues and problems. And some of the testimonials that we get are, would make you cry. They're so beautiful. They've turned people's lives around and found somebody who's turned their life around to then be their best friend, be their companion. And from where they were a year ago to a year later, their life is completely different. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides, Naseem. Obviously, we're just on the journey with that client, but helping them learn and helping them understand of what they can do to enhance their life, or what questions they can ask, or how they can see things and to be responsible. So, one of the topics I was kind of talking about when we were planning this was how responsible are you when you're looking for someone? How responsible are you when you're communicating with someone in terms of what you're looking for, how you can communicate what you're looking for, what you're offering, and your responsibilities within marriage as well. So, again, as you said, huge topic, lots of things to talk about.
Inshallah.
Yeah. So, Naseem, is there anything that we have just about 10 minutes remaining today? So, is there anything that you think that we can sort of touch on today that you think actually let's kick off with this? Because we've done a brief introduction on each other.
Yeah, I would just like to hit just a couple of lines that I composed. I just wanted to kind of share this with our brothers and sisters out there. Obviously, this is very much, you and I both Muslims, and Islam's a big part of our life. So we should always kind of connect with that and bring it into our lives, inshallah, in really every aspect of our life. So the Quran provides detailed instructions on many aspects of life, including morality, relationships, ethics, worship, practices, and much more. It emphasizes that all people are equal before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and deserving of respect regardless of their religion or social status. The Quran also teaches about accountability for our actions. This includes being held responsible for our words and deeds both in this life and the hereafter. Alhamdulillah, additionally, the Quran outlines specific values to strive for in order to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. I think that's what we're really trying to aim here. It's how we can connect to the Quran to live a fulfilling and life, both with our peers and obviously how we can connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And I think the whole concept of completing half your deen to get married is something people say very easily with their tongue, but I think it's very difficult with your heart and your actions. So to be able to fulfill that for your husband, for your wife, to complete half your deen is a challenge. So as a single person, if you're doing your prayers or you're giving in charity, you get one reward, or any other deed Islamically. But if you're a married person and you give in charity, or you pray your prayers, or you're doing any good deed, you get double the reward, because it's harder to be married and living life. It's much easier to be single because you have no one to consult. You just wake up, do what you're doing, eat what you're eating, go where you want, and you've got no responsibility in your life for a partner. The minute you have responsibility for your partner and you're trying to help them on the path towards Jannah, basically, the road to Jannah is the whole concept behind any kind of work that I do, I think. And what I've realized is, if you're not able to express that in a good way, in a kind way, and in a place where it gives people hope and gives people energy and gives people understanding, or maybe, I'm not looking at, like, for example, I just came out of a call with a client recently, and she goes, oh no, this is missing from my meetings, and how can I find that in my match? And I'm saying, well, the biggest thing for you to do, if you ask me, would be to do your wudu, to pray to nafil before you jump into your meeting, and ask Allah to guide you and ask Allah to help you find a pious person, because we can put lots of eligible, educated, decent people in front of you, but your heart's only going to connect to one person. So the dua for you is to pray, Allah Ta'ala, grant me that pious person that softens my heart so that I can take my journey with her, or I can take my journey with him. And she was saying to me, Jazakallah khair, that's like a good reminder, because yeah, it's not a shoe that you can just try on and off you go. It's a whole life companion, and there's many, many components in there beyond even what a matchmaker can do to help, again, it's hearts and minds that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala connects. What's your thoughts on that, Naseem?
No, but it's true, exactly. Everything is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and as Muslims, it's our tawakkul. We can only go so far. We try our best. Our effort has to be in there. But ultimately, our yaqeen, our iman, and tawakkul is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for everybody. But I would just like to add, for somebody that's been married, alhamdulillah, 32 years, happily married, alhamdulillah, there's, bags of experience, bags of stories, bags of things that I would like to share throughout these podcasts. And but it's the most beautiful relationship Alhamdulillah, being married to the most wonderful person, and I hope my husband sees this at some point, inshallah. But it's you have to work hard for it, and that there's no doubt there.
Yeah. No, but it is, and I think it's the reward at the end. It's like the bag of gold coins at the end of the rainbow, right? You have to go through all that in life to be able to get to that place of contentment where you're best friends with your husband, and not everybody gets that. That's a special gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for sure.
Exactly.
On that beautiful note, Naseem, I think Naseem and Nasim should say goodbye to all the viewers and listeners today, and we look forward to next Monday where we come back with our next episode.
Inshallah. Allah Hafiz.
All the best.
Remember us in your duas.
Assalamu alaikum.